Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the C.R. Lawrence OP31 left hand and a Duranautic finish. This is a complete pivot set, top and bottom. Well, there's no intermediate pivots naturally, but it's a pivot set, top and bottom. This would be compatible with Arcadia, Arch Aluminum, Tubulite, and Vista Wall type installations. This is the bottom pivot, obviously. And there is an image down below with all of the dimensional properties of the unit, and we'll touch on them, and we'll work from the bottom up just to make sure that the actual article matches the documentation. It doesn't always, is the point of that. This is a 3/4 inch offset pivot. Before we get to the dimensions, let's go over the extended description. This is a 3/4 inch offset pivot, and that means from the face of the door to the center line of the pivot, the vertical axis of pivoting is 3/4 inch. Common, typical, the most common offset dimension. These are handed, they're not reversible. This is only going to be used in a left-hand installation. From your perspective, the door appears to be a right-hand reverse, but it's a left-hand installation. Okay. 2 finishes, 2 hands, so there's 4 of these pivots in the site. This allows for an 1/8 of an inch vertical adjustment, which you can employ by loosening that set screw that's there, and then literally turning this bolt to give you that small amount of vertical adjustment, then tightening that set screw again. Suitable for aluminum frames and doors weighing up to 125 pounds. That's easy. I don't really think there's any aluminum doors and frames that will exceed that. Typical installations, naturally. This is for a recessed of an 1/8 of an inch installation. Here's what that means. The door is inset 1/8 of an inch, meaning if you were to run your hand over the face of the door and the frame from the pull side, the door is going to be moved in just a little bit. It won't be flush, and that dimension happens to be an 1/8 of an inch. That's what this is manufactured for. Made of aluminum in a die-cast process, sold as each. And then you've got the Arcadia, Arch Aluminum, Tubulite, and Vista Wall brands is what this will be compatible with. Let's start from the bottom and go all the way up and do a reality check on those dimensions. Overall depth of the floor pivot is 2 15/16, and that's accurate. Overall height they don't give, but let's give that to you. About 1 13/16. Okay. Height of the exterior shoulder, 11/16. Let's see. Yeah, that would be accurate, 11/16. Width of the plate down at the bottom, about 1 3/8 inches. With the jamb portion, about 2 inch. Let's put the tape measure down on the back wall and study the center line of the screw holes. About 5/16 and then about 1 1/8 inches. And then from the top of the wing to the center of those holes, looks like it's about 7/16 and then about 1 1/16. Okay, that's your bottom portion, your floor portion, I should say. A couple of holes drilled and tapped there. That'd be really good for securing a threshold down to. Okay, this will be connected to the jamb with these countersunk and threaded holes. Then you've got the door portion of the bottom, and you've got that race bearing that's in there. That's going to sit just like that, obviously. Okay. Let's take some dimensions of this. Overall height, about 1 3/4 inches, and let's study from the top to where the screw holes are. About 3/8 and then down to about 1 1/8. Overall width, about 1 3/8 inches. Overall depth, 1 1/4 inches. Continuing our way up will be the top door portion with its, and you'll know it's different. It's got a spring-loaded pin. Obviously, that's going to install this way, so that when you put the door on the bottom floor portion, then tip it in, you'll just pop that down, slide it in, and it'll hook into the header portion. Let's do this. Overall height of the piece, 1 3/4 inches. Center line of the holes from the top look like, again, about 5/8 down to about 1 3/8. Overall width, 1 3/8. Overall depth, 1 1/4. Projection of that pin, not that it really matters, but here we go, 9/16. Now the header portion. We're going to notch the header. This will fit into the notch in the header, and then it's screwed from the underside of the header with 3 holes, and then into these tapped, 3 screws into these tapped holes. Overall, front to back, about 2 1/8, 2 1/16, let's say. Let's study where you're going to install it into the header. That portion that will slide into the slot, about 1 1/8 inches. And then you can see where those screw holes are, about 3/16 down to about 15/16. Then that middle one from the end is about 9/16 center line. Okay. You can see that it's meant to be, the header of the frame will be right here, so this is all flush. Width of that portion alone, we said that 1 1/8. Thickness of that portion looks like it's about 7/16. Okay, that's meant to go obviously just like that. Okay, then a screw package for securing everything down. All the pieces to the door, the pieces to the jamb, and the header are all here. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the C.R. Lawrence products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Now, the name C.R. Lawrence is synonymous with pivot hardware for aluminum doors, exit devices, door closers, architectural hardware for use on all that stuff. The doors themselves they can do, but they are also synonymous with glass hardware, clamps, hinges, shower door enclosures, glass used in architectural applications as well, whether it's an apron that you'll see at your favorite coffee shop or a glass facade in a skyscraper. If you have any questions on the C.R. Lawrence, their part number 0P31 in a left hand and a Duranautic finish, or any other C.R. Lawrence product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.